Hi friends, today we are going to discussing automation testing process. A previous video I discussing about that what is automation testing, what are the benefits of the automation testing. If you have not seen that video, please go through that video. And today we are going to discussing automation testing process. In testing process we have 5 scenarios to test to the testing process. What are that? Is a tool selection and scope of the automation and planning, design and development and test execution and maintenance. These 4 points we are going to discussing on this video. First is we need to select the first tool, which is the tool for comfortable for our application and which scenarios we are going to testing. Based on that we are going to choose our tool. When we are using some tool selection in automation, we have two different kind of, not only two, more than that, we basically see so many members are using QTP and Selenium. These two only most of the people are using. QTP is in a paid version, is developed by the HP, and Selenium is in a Sun Microsystems. It's an open source and is developed by the Simon Stewart. It's a Selenium WebDriver created by Simon Stewart, and Selenium is developed by the Jason Huggins in 2004. It is an open source. Anyone can use and anyone can modify the new code, and means he can add the new code. He can't change the older code. It's in a free version. How is Java is presented, same like Selenium also is working on that. We need to choose based on our application, which application we are using, and based on the application, if it is a large application or else the how much cost presented on the application, and which scenario we can give the good output to the user. Based on that we are using into the selecting to the tool. And define the scope. How we need to define the scope means the scope of the automation is the area of your application under test which will be the automated. Means scenario of the area application under the test means we need to choose on based on the application feature that are important for the business. When we are choosing the tool, that one is an importance to the business and the future also. Scenario which have a large amount of data and common functionality across the application, which are the common applications and the functionalities are presented, and that based on the application we need to use that. And technically feasibility extended to which business components are reused, and complexity of test cases, ability to use the same test cases for cross-browser testing. When we are going to the QTP and Selenium we can use the multiple browsers and reusable code, and anyone can any language, means programming scripting language it will support, and number of programming scripting languages supports, but QTP only supports the VB scripting. It does not support the other languages. It is also paid version. Based on our choosing the tool and based on our application, we are defining it these two slides. Means the tool selection is we need to consider as an if it is based on our application and cost and client, and which are the critical situations are presented, which are the repetition test cases are presented. Based on that we are choosing on a tool, and scope also we need to provide on planning, designing and testing. We need to take the creating the automation strategy and plans. When we are going to the developer is given means is when we are taking the requirement and analysis, at the time we are creating which tool is basically we are using and which automation strategies we need to follow, and plans also we need to create it. Automation tool selected and frequency framework design and its features. Here planning is basically when we are getting the requirement analysis, at that time the document we are getting the strategy and planning. At the time also when it is coming to the system requirement, we are choosing an answer tool, which tool is better for us to creating. We need to choose a framework design, which framework is better in automation. In automation there are so many frameworks are presented nowadays. We will discussing the frameworks on later. In scope and out scope of the time of automation, items automation test bed preparation, scheduled and timeline of the script and execution, deliverable and automation testing. We can use the scheduling. When we are going to the automation, we can schedule the time to execute the script. And test execution, which are we are creating previous and test planning and designing and development, and that time we are creating some script are executed during this phase. Okay, which are the scripts are we are creating the previous section and development time, and that development time creating script we are automating to execute the script and test execution time. The script needs input test data and before are set to run. Once executed, they provide the detailed test report. In the execution time, when we are going to execute the script, and the script it will take some inputs. When we are going to prepare some Excel to provide the input data, or else we need to provide some input data to the fields, or else we can provide some text file data. We can access the database value to provide input data. Based on our providing data, the test it will run. After completion of the execution, it gives the providing the detailed test report. Finally, we need to maintain the complete information on the script and output. New functionalities are added to the system under the test with successive cycle. Automation script needs to be added, reviewed and maintained for each release cycle. Means after completion of the application execution and reporting everything, we need to maintain some information. When there is adding some new functionality to the application, at the time we need to maintain the previous core data and reviewed information. Everything we need to keep it on that. Maintenance becomes the necessary to improve the efficiency of the automation scripting, which is previously we are storing all the information and keep it in some file. At the same time, some new functionalities coming to the picture, we want to store that information into our system. Once the information we are maintaining, that if any new functionality is added, we just add it to that functionality. We can keep it on the loop, and reviewed information, everything we need to add it on that. That's all from today. Thank you for watching. If you have any doubt, please comment on video, and if you like this video, please like me. Thank you.